It's too much. We just wanna do this thing right. We can do it non-stop. When we partying on the east side. Hey, everything is on us. Hakuna noma, sikiza ngoma. Kila kona, watu wanasonga. Sipping the stronger, spliff nimeonja. Pics with the owners, chicks is a bonus. Whoa, everybody to the center. Show me all your pesa. Watch out maneno man. What, wait, what? 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 It's too much, 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 it's too much.
Tuna glide juu ya maji kama motorbot na transform story kama Autobots. Hata nikipata pati mbele katikati, simini old school ka okach biggie. Wengine wanasema kani hala if you hear me, hands to raise high.
There's a reason I wanted to play that song first. Yeah. So I was like, early on the first segment we played the new single, and I was like, what song is that? I'm trying to figure, like, we don't know what the song this is, so like introducing people to the song. Yeah. But the reason I wanted to play this specific song is because it's off the first We Cut Keys project. Yeah. And it features Shapaman, and that mix, I think, is it a mix? Would you say it's a mixtape or an EP? The first one.
Mixtape would be that it doesn't have original beats. It's an EP.
Okay.
Because I made most of the music on it. But now considering the things that I know, like how much I've grown as a musician, I'd say it's a mixtape.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's 5 years ago. Is it 4 or 5? Is it more? How long ago is that?
2016.
Okay.
2016?
Damn, and now we're in 2022.
Yeah.
Time has flown.
That's 2016, Yeah.
And then in between that project and now, so much has happened.
Yeah.
So much has happened, both for you as a producer, as a DJ, as an artist. Yeah. So we'd like to talk to you today about from We Cut Keys 1 to what I'm hoping is We Cut Keys 2.
It is We Cut Keys 2.
Okay. Yeah. Because I think that's what we're really excited about.
Yeah.
Is it done? Is it ready? How's that looking?
I just have like 3 songs to write to, and they're some of the like super hard songs.
Okay.
So I'm just about, I think within the next 2 weeks I'll be done with the writing part, but then there's the business side of it, which will also possibly take 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the first project you said you produced all the music. In this next one, are you producing for yourself? Are you working with other producers? What's the production on the new?
On the new one, I've done a lot of production myself, but also there's guest producers. So like the song that came out today was produced by Manchild.
Whoa, Manchild
and me.
Amazing. Okay.
So Manchild and me, and then there's a song that's produced by Sichangi. Another one one produced by me and Hook, the guy who produces.
Hook in Michigan, the one who works with Mudhoni Drama Queen.
Yeah, and then one that they've produced all of it.
Okay.
But for the most part, I've handled a lot of the production.
So when you say you were writing to it, meaning like you have the beat or you have the beat, but you don't have the word. Do you have the word? I guess what does that look like?
Yeah,
I feel like that's confusing.
I have the beat, but I don't have the words.
So how does it happen? Like with the words, when will you know it's okay? Because I feel like it sucks to do it on a timeline. Like I need to do it in 2 weeks because I feel like sometimes songs will just come to you. Yeah. So it's like you wait for the inspiration. Are you like because now this is for you professionally. Like I guess you also do have to set deadlines for yourself. Yeah. How does it work?
No, for this one, like now it's just like there's a mix of songs that I wanted. Like the one that came out today was probably one of the more happier songs on the project. And then like there's other songs that the texture is a bit like dark and grimy.
Okay.
So for me, like my albums are always like almost producer albums.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not gonna be like one thing, because I'm not trying to do just one thing. I'm trying to do so many different things. Yeah, so that's what's happening right now. It's just I feel like I have a good range of sounds that I want to play with that are in the bag.
Okay.
So now I just want to like just some things that are just to ongeza the sauce, and then I'm done.
There's something that I really I want to touch on. It's your production, in a sense of throughout the years we've seen you do guest production on a lot of different people's albums. Not even just Kenyans, but even internationally.
Yeah.
Like I think, like for me, I love Something for You that you did for Octopiso. Like
Yeah.
dun, 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 like that's just crazy.
Yeah.
So, and I also feel like you work with I think you work with specific people, because like you work with the people you work with, like MDQ, those are people you have relationships with. I feel like you work with people who have Octopiso, you've worked with multiple times.
Yeah.
MDQ, both as a producer, and on even like when we had you on Kibanda, nobody would have thought Blinky Bill would have gone and rapped on that. But it sounds like you have your ear to the streets, in the sense of when you talk about Manchild and you see what he's doing with Debe, and you see how amazing it is. Like Debe is taking a life of its own. The production in the new Chris Kaiga album is so incredible.
Yeah.
Here you talk about people working with people like Sichangi, whose people say is a prodigy of yours.
Yeah.
But like Sichangi's album, that was such a beautiful album.
Yeah.
And to see like those different sounds being appreciated is so amazing.
Yeah. No, man, like for me, I always want to have sounds that push me. So like I just don't, what's it called? Manchild produced Attention.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Everyone. So
you've been knowing him for time.
I've known him for a very long time. So it's just happening that sometimes he'll come to my studio and play me a bunch of beats.
Okay.
And I'll be like, oh, okay. I want this, and then I'll play him some stuff. So we've been talking about doing a joint project.
Wow.
So
because like if you hear his album that's on SoundCloud from years ago, that thing is so incredible.
Good.
Like the fact that people never heard that.
That's the what I know him from. Like
SoundCloud days.
The Chris Kaiga stuff is more like recent.
Yeah.
But SoundCloud days is where I know him from.
Shout out Manchild.
Yeah. So like there's a song of his called Oh Yeah Yeah.
Yes.
Which I really like. Yeah. Then like, and all these guys have brought, like, Sitcha's track on my album is so hard. It's like probably the hardest. Like, as soon as I had it,
the beat
itself, I was like, this one I'm not even gonna add anything. I'm just gonna write to it.
Okay.
And it's one of those songs that I've written over the years, but I feel like right now, like, I'm so happy with my pen game. It's like,
do you know what song for me just does it? 2 songs.
Yeah.
Probably For the Lovers.
Yeah.
That song will never, like, the goosebumps, the feet, there's an emotion to that song.
Yeah.
And I heard you talk about that. I heard you say that it was a breakup song.
Yeah.
And then you sing it at weddings, and people, like, for me, like, I'll be in bed with someone, I want to hear, like, that song it just feels, but then Mungu Halali for me, I don't know what crack is on that song, but, like, that's a feel, like, if I'm upset, if I listen to Mungu Halali, I feel happy.
Yeah.
Like that song, it just vibes.
Almost like video game sounds. That's literally the feeling. I'd put the song that came out today and Mungu Halali in the same box of, like, I have different boxes of sounds.
Okay.
And I think those 2 songs are in the same box for me.
Okay.
And then, like, a song like even probably For Lovers is in that box. And then there's just different sounds that I always want to play with, like the electronic type sounds.
Last year you gave us some really dope music in the sense of, like, the Jam Now.
Simmer Down.
And, like, weirdly enough, when you were releasing that, some people were like, oh, they've heard these songs already. Like, the songs maybe you've had recorded before but released last year.
Yeah.
And then, so you gave us a few singles.
Yeah.
Are these singles going to be on the album? Or were you I guess, were you testing? What were you doing with last year? You'd released about 4 singles, I believe. Bado Mapema, like those the singles you were releasing. Are those going to be for the
I was
album?
mostly testing sounds. Like a song like what's it called, Bado Mapema, was
Bado Mapema.
I think that's a song that I made it on a drum machine, and it's one of those that I wanted to find a groove, because sometimes when you look at Kenyans love really foreign things, so it's like South African ideas, like we really gravitate towards it, but we have so many untapped sounds. So I have this drum machine. I was trying to the idea behind that song was trying to figure out if I was at a wedding in Coastal and like mothers are on a table as like they're celebrating a wedding.
Yeah.
So that's that chant.
Okay.
And then to find a groove which is not like kung 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 kung. It's like it's not a straight groove.
Yeah.
So that groove is more like
It's disrupted. It's like and switches. There's a switch. You know the switch, yeah.
Which is almost like a Neptune's sound. In fact, that's what I was trying to do, but an African Neptune sound.
Okay.
Yeah. And so like that was an experiment, and I always want to put out ideas at the time just so that it's a marker of where I am, wherever I am. So it's not, when you get an album, you're getting like a consolidation of ideas of where I am at the time. So yeah.
I was wondering if anybody knows Blinky Bill, then they know you work with Zakadel a lot in terms of art direction.
Yeah.
Because like throughout your projects, I think for years you guys like he helps put that together. I guess how does having someone like that who kind of is able to, because for you to be able to trust him and like he sees your vision, or how does that talk about that relationship?
He's my creative director.
Okay.
But also he's like my brother. So I met him when just around the time when Just a Band we were going our separate ways. And then he's not a city guy. He's like a country guy.
Okay.
But in fact, Provoke came with him to my house. And then he'd been listening to Just a Band for a long time. So he was just like, oh, I'm in this guy's house. I've been listening to him. And then we ended up being friends. And it wasn't even that I asked him, but at the time I wasn't even thinking about the visual side of things. And then he was just like, you need any of these things.
Because you do need those things. Like as an artist, like you can't without that.
In fact, now I see how crippling it is to not have.
Because you could have amazing music, but if you can't show the visuals, if you can't market, if you can't, like because you talk about a lot of sound. Like if you go to YouTube or like SoundCloud, you find songs with very little plays. Yeah. It's just about they're not marketed or they're not packaged in a way. They're amazing songs, but how do you package a song? Because that's really important these days.
Yeah. So he was almost. I think it's a godsend or something. Like he was just sent at the right time, because in Just a Band, the rest of the guys used to do a lot of the like BT would probably do
videos. All of you guys had your different like website, roles, like Jim, BT, everybody would have something.
So it's almost like he came in to kind of like fill in the gap that the rest of the guys left.
Okay.
And then now I'm just like,
because you guys work well together. Because if you see the visuals or hype, because each single has its own
feel.
Yes, the look is different. It's so well done that you can't. It's not Blinky Bill without that. You know.
No, it's not. In fact, and also he has so much. We spent a lot of time together. Like in the evening, we'll probably be playing games online, and he'd be like, "Yo, I saw this idea. I want to do this," and to be honest, it's the kind of input that he brings to my work is the kind of stuff that record labels pay a lot of money to have someone on retainer to just like the way Anderson Paak's projects used to look back in the day.
And they would take a long,
Yeah. So he's like that for me, but in Kenya, which is like I don't even think anyone else.
Nobody else
that.
does what he does.
Yeah.
No, like it helps.
Yeah, and it's a part of it. It's yeah.
I want to ask you, what's it for you when you're DJing or performing? Because you do performances, but you also do DJs.
Yeah.
And like when you do DJ, everybody talks about like, yo, did you hear that Blinky Bill set? Whether it was about Dwan? Like guys look forward to your DJ sets. Like I saw you put up a Jameson gig at the museum, and it was like gone because people look for. I think you're not everywhere, so when people get to see you, it's an experience. Is that intentional? And I guess what do you prefer between DJing and performing?
Let me answer.
Like Lamu as well, like there's crazy every time you perform or DJ, it's memorable. Yeah. So I don't know if it's because of the scarcity or what's the vibe.
I don't even think it's scarcity, but I just don't want to. I do this thing because I love it, It's like, and I don't even have. I'm not afraid to disappoint my fans in the sense that
because you experiment.
Yeah,
you take us through. You never know what you're gonna get because on the same album you can have Attention, but you can have Mungo Halali, but you can also have
Winner, Happy, Don't Worry. There's so many things that
you're not in a box at all.
Yeah, so I'm not. If someone came and said I'm disappointed in the new work or if in future new work, I'd be like, that's my intention. It's like I'm not trying to be stuck in a place where I'm pleasing people in that sense. I just want to make what I feel I need to make at the time.
Do you feel like so forget other people, but do you feel like you disappoint yourself though?
No. Okay. I don't.
Because that's all that matters. At the end of the day, if you're not disappointing yourself,
I'm not disappointed.
Fuck it all.
I don't. Yeah, because every single thing that I put out, I can stand behind and tell you. So that's why there's songs that you'll never hear. Like there's like some type of sounds that you'll not really hear me on because I don't care about them. Even if everyone in Kenya,
like we can't hear you on certain sounds.
Yeah. I would jump on again, get on track.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna
easy, but like even Nini, what's it called? Well, Kibanda is on that tip,
Yeah.
And as soon as I had that beat, I told Doctor I have to be on this song because it's such a fire track. If the song slaps, I'm in.
Okay.
If it doesn't, if it's just one of those that everyone else likes, but it doesn't move me, I'm not really gonna jump on it.
Okay.
So that's one of the things where it makes me even be very careful about where I'm playing because there's places where I'll be playing, but someone will be coming to interfere, like, yo, play this or play that. I'm like, it's almost like someone coming to if you have a restaurant and they tell you
what to cook. They have a menu, but they're telling you what to put on the. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't like that. So that's why that's more the reason why you probably won't see me everywhere.
Okay.
Because I just want to be careful about where it is I'm playing, because again, it's something that I love. So yeah, and there's different schools of thought. There's people who enjoy playing stuff that everyone wants, So I'm not even saying that it's wrong. It's just not my thing.
Okay.
And then what was your second question?
I was wondering about performances versus DJing, but also wondering like what gets you more excited? Because I don't know, like, are you someone who you'd want to be in the studio all day and just be in the like a studio rat?
Yeah.
Or you get someone who wants to go out and like, what's Blinky Bill doing?
Yeah.
On like, okay, what was your day like today? Me, I can tell you, I woke up at 5:30. I woke up at 5 p.m. She woke up she woke up at 5:30 p.m. So we just woke up. Situ nanza siku. What's a day? What's a Blinky Bill day?
I'm fading. First of all, I've been up since because
promo media
stuff. So I've been up since maybe like 5:30 a.m. So I'm gonna leave.
No, but but the question I'm looking for is let's say not on a media day, but what's a typical day? What's a typical day for you look like?
It depends. It depends. Like right now, when I'm in finishing a project, I'm mostly in studio because like inspiration will find me there. But yeah.
Okay.
And between they're such different skill sets, because DJing to me is a bit more easier than performing. Performing is like very technical. So I've spent years with my band, so we know each other. Like if we were called to go on tour in the next two weeks, like we just meet for a week, and we like, even if I'm introducing new tracks, they'll be like, we have a chemistry. But it takes more from me, because I'm very emotionally invested in the music, and it's like by the time,
Okay.
The exhaustion from performing is very different from the exhaustion from DJing, because DJing, I can wake up tomorrow and just go play. And but performing gives me way more joy.
Okay, so it's more exhilarating for you to perform versus to DJ.
More, and DJing, if I have like the right crowd, is as good as performing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, you've done so much. If I think about like working with people like Neka, working with like Chance the Rapper when you guys were doing like the Jester Band, like you've done so much. What is it that you still want to do that you feel like, hey, I've still not done? What's left for Blinky Bill to do?
That's the second time I'm being asked this question today. I feel like for some reason, I feel like I'm just starting out, which is funny because I have done so much.
Your experience is so wide. I could go on a 10-minute rant. So I'm wondering, like, what's at where you're at? What do what do you still want to look forward to?
I think I want to be able to, the way right now with African music, it's almost like to the world with African music, it's
new.
But it's either Afrobeat or, like, for the most part, people really know Afrobeat, so the Wizkids and all those guys. But I think it's such an unfair lens to look at a continent with, because watch even right now, we've always had such a wide array of music and artists and sounds. And some things become big because they appeal to a Western sense. And now with Kenya, it's even worse, because to appeal to everybody and to have a really high level of being daring is very difficult. I don't even know who. It's very difficult because the Kenyan audience as well is very... Sometimes I'll look at the things that almost everyone likes, like across the board. I'm like,
it limits it because it forces us. It forces someone who wants to do music the commercial route or to kind of
dumb down.
Yeah, because Bien said like Iyani. If you listen to Iyani's old music, Iyani's the guy who made Pombe and this new song Furaha. Yeah. He uses call and shout like Furaha. The songs are very. It's what Kenyans gravitate to.
Kenyan pub songs.
Yeah. That's what, but you see someone, you make music, like if people argue, like Femi One used to rap and they're like, oh, now you're making this. Like, because if you want to get to more, if you want gigs, if you want to be, you have to you don't have to, but people are forced to.
You probably have to, because.
But you've done a different route. You don't, but it's been hard and it's been a long journey.
It's been very hard, and also I'm not in everyone's face. So it makes me wonder, because if you listen to a song like Bloody Samaritan, that's such a good song to me.
You can't deny, but that's, yeah.
But then also, the production quality is so high, but it also connects with people, like the kawaida person, which means that people over there are so open. Like when I've played in SA, like South Africans love good music. It's not even like they have,
but even their level of music is so high, from the Kwaito. It's always been
from behind. Guys. With Kenya, it's always party songs.
That's what's big.
Or
Yeah.
club songs, which means that the bandwidth for people to actually comprehend,
To sit down with an album,
to
even.
sit down with a project and understand that when you wake up in the morning, there's you'll need a different sound from when you're going to sleep. When you're like, there's sometimes when I have playlists probably on Spotify for just chilling out.
Yeah, I see you sharing a lot of those.
Yeah. When I'm when I'm driving, there's a certain sound that I want for specific times. Or when you're cooking, there's so many.
But that's what
moments.
albums work like that, because if you listen to like even MDQ's River, it's not this. There's different sounds. If you listen to, even we're talking about your album, the last album, there's happy. There's different sounds.
Exactly.
It's not the same, the whole thing. But you see, I learned this because Kenyans know the single.
Yeah.
They don't know, if people hate Kahush, and you can hate Kahush all day, but if you look, Kahush has albums where he has different, but if you only know but you only know the single.
There's a song with Steph, the rapper, on his album that is insane.
But people will never hear that song because they'll never listen to one. Very few people listen. The majority of people will not consume an album. They'll hear what is played in the club or the TikTok trendy, looking good. But if you sit down with albums, you'll realize how we play a Kenyan album every day on the show.
Yeah.
The diversity we have country music.
Yeah.
We have EDM albums by Kenyan producers. We have a complete R&B. We have zoo. Like, there's so many different styles, but as guys will only hear
what plays in the club. So that's the unfortunate thing, because now a lot of the other African countries have figured out that stuff, and we're kind of left way behind. Like, it is actually tragic, because, and I keep saying this, when Wizkid has Damian Marley on the album, the guys Uko in Shags in Nigeria, when they're listening to that album, then like they'll consume it for what it is. And he has a big following in Nigeria. When I do Kilamu, for example, and I look at the stats, I'm just like, that song barely got any airplay.
But if you hear that thing like Idi Aziz did, bro, that record is heavy.
That record is so hard. That's one of the hardest records I've ever worked on. And so it makes me wonder, like, so how much more? Because also that song is so easily accessible to me. It's like, in terms of anyone, I felt like anyone could understand it. To me.
Okay.
Or maybe I was overestimating. I don't know. But so it makes me wonder, like, that sample is Kenyan. Is Kenyan.
True.
I'm Kenyan. But the songs will normally tell me how to write. Like the new song, I was just like, I'm gonna write this in Swahili, because as soon as I had the beat, it felt like that. With that song with Idi Aziz, it felt like I needed to write in English.
Yeah.
So someone who's a Kenyan will be like, this is written in English. But the same guy will listen to Damian Marley and Wizkid and be like, yeah, this is cool. So there's a lot of pretentious bullshit that we have as consumers, where it's almost like,
but it's what's forced down on us. It's this stuff is forced. If you listen to, if that's a song that you hear, if you go to Deja Vu, you're gonna hear Bloody Samaritan. You're gonna hear that Peru para. I'll go home. I'll be driving back home. I'm in the Uber. I'm like singing Peru para, because that's all I've heard the whole day. And I was listening to the radio I had when I got. If you play this, I don't know.
But so now that's a good point, because today in the morning when I was on Trace. And they played this new song, and then they played one of those Nigerian songs.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, because it's something that I've wanted for a long time, which goes back to your question for the earlier project.
Yeah.
That I gave Musyoka last minute to mix it, because I was overwhelmed by it. And so we didn't have the luxury of time to actually sit down with it and make it pretty. It was just, it's a very rough on the edges album.
Okay.
and I like it for what it is in that sense. But now over the years, I've understood that when a Nigerian song plays, and then your song plays, their sound engineers are insane.
The mixing, and a lot of Kaneda, I don't know if you know who Kaneda is.
Yeah.
She was saying she was in school, she's doing a master, she's a music producer, she knows things about sounds and she's crazy. But like she was saying, she played a Kenyan song, when she was in her master's program, they were playing music from their countries.
Yeah.
And she went to Berkeley for her master's, but she played a Kenyan song, the teacher told her turn that off. The quality was so bad. Yeah. It's so badly mixed and mastered.
Yeah.
So if you play it, you can hear it sounds, the quality makes and I think that's, the mixing and mastering can break or make a song, because those guys are spending millions to mix and master the albums, and that's why you can play it. The quality, it's important, and I think we can't win if our quality doesn't improve.
Yeah, so correct, absolutely, and so there's a thing that even South African engineers have figured out with their producers, how to make the amapiano.
But even Nigerians are making amapiano better than even SA guys.
To make the drums knock, but not knock too hard, but also it's just the right amount, but it's still clean. So they're combining sonic innovation with engineering. So it's like the producers are pushing these boundaries, and their engineers are also pushing their boundaries on the side. So it's more they figured out their sound.
But we need more musyokas, because everybody goes to musyoka to mix.
Yeah.
We need more musyokas, because that's it. We need more people who can do those things, and not just the artists. We need a scene where we have the photographers, the video. We need a mix.
We need
the Zacadels. We need
of all these.
We need the playlist. The guys who are curating we need DJs. We need everybody, because that's how we can actually full circle this thing.
Yeah. So that's what makes me be like, this thing is way bigger than for us to compete. There's so much more investment of time and resources that needs to go into this thing. So it's kind of crazy. Like, so yeah, I was talking about this new song. The guy who's mixed it is a guy I met when I was on tour in the States, and he's worked on like a lot of. He has 4 Grammys.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent him. There's another song that's gonna be coming out, which is like has a feel that reminded me of Welcome to Jamrock.
Okay.
And so as soon as I forgot, shout out Dilly.
Shout out Dilly, because you guys even share a studio space.
Yeah. So he started that song, and then I had him make it. I was just like, yo, keep that song for me. And then someone else was gonna take it. Then eventually I got it. And when I was writing to it, I was just thinking, I don't think there's any engineer who would handle this the way Commissioner Gordon would, because he mixed Welcome to Jamrock.
Okay.
So I sent him the sketch.
The same guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I sent it to him, he was like, yo, man, this is cool. So an older guy. It was send me more stuff that you're working on. And so I sent him Amaaja, like the initial stems, and he liked it because it's like the track I was sending to him. It has a feel like something he's
worked
familiar
on
with.
before, yeah.
But this other sound, it was just like it's very different from. He doesn't know it, but that he spent so much time working on it. And today, when I was listening to it in the studio, I was just like, yes. Like, this is exactly what I've always wanted, where I've probably had other songs that I feel like I would have wanted to mix way better, but I didn't have that access to someone who was also patient.
Can I ask you something?
Mm-hmm.
Are these guys expensive? Like, is it something that... Is it if we were to go that route and say we'd find people who can actually make our music and our sound better, is it something that other people can do? Or is it, how hard is it to? Because imagine finding the same guy who makes or worked on Welcome to Jamrock, which came out like in 1998, I think.
It was 2000 something.
Okay,
2000,
but like to find those guys, is it hard? Are they accessible with the internet? Are they accessible?
Yeah,
okay.
There's so many engineers who've done a lot of other stuff that you know. Me, I was just lucky to meet this guy.
Okay,
and then we became friends, and I featured on a song that he produced, and then like now
a relationship.
Yeah, we have a relationship. So he still charges a lot. But because we have a relationship, we can trade.
Okay.
And even with Musioka, that's someone I've known for a long time. So he never really charged me for We Cut Keys too. It was more like, if I ever need a favor, you can come to me.
Yeah. Something really cool I've been seeing recently with artists I'm interviewing. I'm finding Kenyan artists are joining collectives, like international collectives, where they have different, like they join like a group where there's a guy who does website development, there's a guy who does art, and then you produce. So you can you share your production skill.
Yeah.
Someone will help you with your videos. Someone will help you. They help you with different things, and it's interesting because you get to interact with people from other parts of the world, and they're putting you onto things you don't even understand. Like these guys are on ZG, and you need those relationships because it's like we can't just exist in our bubble and not even, you're working with someone from Germany or from Finland that's putting you onto things that you're not experiencing every day. I feel like it's really cool to be part of those kind of collectives.
Yeah, it is, because now if you don't have if you have a skill, then you can also trade that can be an equivalent of. So like with this guy, if he's a producer, but he's way older. So if he needs something that's like a bit more current and sharp, he'll hit me up.
Yeah.
But because his ears are experienced, I'll hit him up because I'm just like, there's something, your sound is something that I really want. And so a lot of people actually just need to find that. And I don't even feel like it has to be one of those really big people. It just needs to be that you just need to have people who are, even if you're going to be on YouTube, just be on YouTube. That's what happened with I feel like Chris Manchild and the other guy who makes videos.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
Leon. I don't. Yeah, no.
One of them, I'm forgetting his name, but they had. It was almost like just a band. That's not just a band.
Because that guy did the videos, and they have a studio too. Yeah, that space.
Yeah. So maybe that's a better idea for someone who's up and coming to be like, look at who around. Because
we don't have money, but we each have a skill that we can use. Because you see a lot of people like, Sina studio, Sina this. But, okay, you can rap. So you find someone who can, Musaidiane. Because even Kamula worked because, Marcus can produce, Teo can rap, Karun can. You see, you can't win alone.
Exactly.
You can't win alone.
Exactly. And,
I want to ask you a question.
Ask me.
Andre 3000.
3,000.
3 stacks. I feel like that would be a dream collab for you, but I'd love for you to tell us about. I know that you love Andre 3000.
Oh, yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Why 3 stacks? Like, because I'd love to know about your influences, but then I know 3 stacks is a huge one for you.
Yeah. 3 stacks, like in terms of.
That's my favorite rapper.
He does it with so much ease. Like he does everything with so much ease. While someone like Big Boy is more of a, like he grinds.
I feel like he's a workhorse.
He's a workhorse.
But if you
so it's almost like it matches because Andre is more laid back. Like he'll do things effortlessly. But Big Boy is like a workhorse. And if we were to look at their body of work after Outcast, Big Boy has a way bigger body of work, and he has some bangers. But Andre has the
verses, like Deuces, sorry. The verses, he's not on everything, but the verses he's given us have held us so tight. Like, exactly. Bro, the verses that stuck, you don't need a lot. Even like bro.
Even the verse he wrote on Kanye's album,
the new one,
is insane.
And he share. I think about 3 stacks is he shares a lot.
Yeah.
Because he talks about like there's talks about he talks about what talking. He doesn't, like rappers are supposed to say I got a big. He doesn't. He says everything. Like, bro, there's a verse he has on Future Song. He talks about like not wanting a Maybach because it doesn't make any sense to have a Maybach. He can just drive his.
He can be on a bike.
Yeah, I could walk, ride a bike. Fuck it, but But like he doesn't. He's not.
He's
himself.
probably the world's most loved rapper in that sense, where he can come out, he can be on whichever youngin's new track, and those kids will feel like, wow, that guy has done me a big favor. Yeah. So I like him because of that, because of the ease with which he blast genres, where it's like a track like Hey Ya, I don't think any other rapper would ever do that, a track like that. And then you listen to his verses on the ones with Kina T.I. or Rick Ross or
16 ain't enough, and 16 ain't enough. Dude, he apologizes to like this whole verse. He apologizes to Big Boy. He apologizes for leaving the tour. Yeah. No, I'm just like, what are you saying? The kids are gonna say this verse ain't good. I'm just like, what the hell?
No, he's incredible.
It's boring.
Really? Boring? And then the stuff on Gwen Stefani's or Khalees.
Yes.
Oh man, that guy, to me, that's the actually, even to me, Kanye is one of the greatest rappers of all time. And I know a lot of people will probably disagree with me, but fuck it.
I disagree because I'm 3 stacks. Like 3 stacks.
No, but I'm saying like in terms of as in not the greatest, but one of the.
Of course.
Because when you're a producer rapper, for some reason people don't take you seriously as a rapper. So when Kina Pharrell in my mind was rapping.
When he was with Jay
Pharrell has songs with Jay-Z. But for some reason people never take him seriously as a rapper.
Because you don't look at Pharrell as a rapper. You think of him as a producer from Neptunes. You see him, exactly. And I guess you don't appreciate the raps as much because you're overshadowed by other things too.
Or maybe it's just thinking about the beat. So the beat goes as hard, even harder than his raps. So it doesn't need to go as hard.
Okay.
With Kanye, it's more, he has a body of work that if you give late registration
I love that
to
album.
any other rapper, that rapper would be considered one of the greatest rappers of all time. If you just give someone else,
if you're just that,
If you give late registration to Nas,
it's a class. Yeah,
like no one would ever question if Nas is
the pen, everything, because the raw, the everything,
and like Drive Slow is a strong song on any rapper's album. Yeah, if not,
even the skits on that album are crazy.
Yeah, if Kendrick had a Drive Slow, I'd be like, yo, like just that song.
True.
And that song is not even considered one of Kanye's in his catalog. Yeah. But that song is as good as any other song on someone else's catalog.
I agree.
So, yeah, it's almost like, it's something that I've noticed with producer rappers. If someone is a producer rapper, it's almost like, we're not going to include them in the top 5 because they don't rap.
They're not a rapper. Yeah, I guess we only include rappers only in the rap top 5 in the lists.
Yeah, but
and I think that's because and you don't appreciate how much more they're doing.
How much work goes into production.
I want to ask you something. I've been seeing there's people I've seen you in the studio with. I don't know, Kalamoto. Yeah. Bro, like I saw you in the studio, Kalam. I'm like, I see you in the studio with, I've seen you with Sharpa a lot of times because when I played Wachamanene, because that's an amazing record. But like, I've seen you in the studio with people that love to hear the music.
Yeah.
But I haven't, at that song, I feel like Blinky's Unreleased is crazy.
My Unreleased is tragic.
Because you're always in the studio. Even when you're with your beat machine, we see you, but you don't give us, you tease us.
Yeah.
Because we don't hear that.
I literally just found an old hard drive, and Zach was like, by this quiz umetoned down. Watu umewahurumia sana. Because I was listening to beats from 2014. I'm like, I wish. I think that's also something that kind of maybe it's I'll put out more beat tapes now after this new project comes out, where it's more just ideas that I've worked on in the past, and they don't need to be hyper mixed or hyper mastered. It's just sketches that I'll put out. But the issue is we have a music scene. We don't have an industry.
Mm-hmm.
So it costs me so much to put out music.
Are you signed or are you an independent artist?
Semi-signed.
Okay, because I know at the bottom it says, but I don't know. Like, what I guess what's your situation?
Yeah, I'll get into that right now. So the thing with music production is, and I was even telling Zach the other day, is that particularly being from Kenya, you can't just be dumb about, oh, I'm gonna release music for the love of it, when at the end of every month you need to pay
bills.
rent.
Bills got
Gotta be
yeah.
paid. So a lot of times I've had to be very strategic about the things I put out. So my production side still, in fact, there's an album by Calvin Harris. I think it was like a super pop album.
Mm-hmm.
But in that album, there's a song called School. I don't remember which album. It must have come out in 2014, 2013. And in as much as the rest of the album had all these pop stars.
Because I think Calvin Harris, pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's this one song that was there to remind, because I've followed him from back in the day when it was just like, but this one song was one of those where he's just saying, I've not forgotten where I'm from. And a lot of times, sometimes I've had to do that because I want to put out music, but I also want to live to put out more music another day.
Okay.
So
that's deep.
Yeah. So it's more of, and like I'm not from a family that really supported this thing. So I've had to figure out ways to just make it work. And it's worked. But also that means that there's a lot of music that I've not put out because the time wasn't right for me to put it out. Yeah. But zitatoka zote.
You guys gave us Winning in Life.
Yeah.
Kafungua Instagram. Alafu. So Winning in Life was dope. Michael Award. That was you produced it.
Yeah.
Dope record. Is that in the past? Is that in the past or what?
Oh, with Just a Band?
Yeah.
Oh man, there's so many dope Just a Band records.
Unreleased.
Yeah. So it's more just patience. But we have so many good songs.
Okay.
And also like someone like Jim.
So talented.
Jim is such an insane producer.
Bro, is it not the Nest Collective, the albums?
Yeah.
Those like the songs on those they released there's two projects they've released. Yeah. Those things are so amazing.
They're so good.
I hate that nobody hears. Like when I hear Mr. President, Pesa, I play Slow Down. I play that on the radio all the time. But people have never had that. A lot of people have never had that type of Kenyan music because that's not what is.
Yeah. So, and that goes to my last point where I'm just like, I also have to be clever about it, but just so that so it's one of those.
Okay. I want to ask you one of my final questions before, and I wanted to ask a question, but I want to ask you in terms of being where you're at right now with the music you're making, what you're doing. I saw you in America with like Osborne Mashai. You guys were doing, there's so much that you do so much, but you, like you do so much, but we don't know what you're doing. I feel like
when we were in Detroit with
Yeah.
Osborne, we'd gone to give a talk,
okay,
and so it like that wasn't more a really public thing. It was more we're talking about Afrofuturism at the university there.
U of M.
In
Yeah.
University of Michigan, and like also Osborne is someone I've known for a while, and he's a good friend. So those are questions you want to ask. So
I'd asked about being signed or you independent artist. How does that work? Because a lot of people who are listening right now, a lot of them are artists.
Yeah.
There's people who come like Platoon and they do different deals. But like, my biggest thing is I'm trying to sell Kenyan music to the world. And my question for you is like, how do we sell Kenyan music, but not the 5 Otile Brown, Yashinsky? We know them. But I'm saying, me, I struggle. My purpose, my vision right now is to, okay, how do we package all of the Kenyan music we have, all the different sounds, so that people hear the Nest Collective, so that people hear all of the different sounds, because we have so much different sounds. How do we, because we need to package Kenyan music, or we need to sell it. How do we do that? That's the question I have for you, because even that's a challenge, because you have to do, you see how you're saying you have to be strategic. The music is dope, but you'll release it and then what? There's no point of you putting it on YouTube and then it's just 2 people who,
exactly.
How do we do that? Because I'm in the same conundrum.
You just have to be very tenacious about it, and just figure out a small plan. But this thing needs money, like what you're talking about.
Because the Nigerians spent money,
the solution is
money.
money. Like it's like the solution for what you're talking about is called hard cash. So everything else is gonna be elastoplast.
Okay.
But what you need, so I don't know, but also Kenyan rich people want to build malls. That's some dumb shit.
And they don't want to support. They don't want to invest in arts. But it's about return on investment. They're trying to get them or keep that. I don't know.
No, but seriously, there's people here who have money that they don't know what to do with it, and then you go build that.
DJ Kemi, this is huge. She was scared because she's like, Blinky Bill's coming. And DJ Kemi is so talented. She's a DJ. She's a producer. She's co-hosting her first radio show with me on Fridays. She's an incredible talent. She has worked with Jamhuri events on a thing called Matatu Mixes, and she has done 4 or 5 of them, and they're out on YouTube, where it's just like hours of Kenyan music that she's put together.
Yeah.
So she's someone who researches a lot of music, and I really believe that DJs play a key role in discovering new music. So like, I want her, that's why we have a show where she plays music. I'm trying to, because I want to know what she's listening to. I want to put her, so we put each other onto Kenyan music. So she's definitely like she's a vault of
Kenyan geek, music geek.
But DJ Kemi, this is Blinky Bill. What questions do you want to ask him?
This whole time, you could talk.
She hasn't said anything yet. We don't know if she can talk.
Could I have some water?
Yes, I'll get you water as DJ Kemi does this.
Hi, I can talk. I'm just really shy, I think. So I do have a question.
Yeah.
I've heard you talk about how you don't want to be in everyone's face, like regarding your music. You stick to your lane, basically. And I'm also a producer, but so I wanted to ask, how do you realize your lane and be able to stick to it regardless of the market and regardless of how many people are listening? You don't have to do what everyone wants. You stick to doing what you want to do. How do you?
Maybe I shouldn't have said that, because I didn't realize how much I would have to sacrifice to be able to even say that.
Okay.
And so it's I'll stop saying that casually, because I've had to put out a lot of work over the years to be able to be like, I want to do this, I don't want to do that. So that's one of the, and also to just be, it's almost like you have a very thick skin, where there's times when I've not had rent money and I've had to be like, oh, I need to figure out a relationship with the landlord so that they can be a bit more easy. This was back in just a band days, and so I could have a bit more time to look for money. So there's things that I've possibly had to do that I don't know if everyone can do, or it's advisable to do that stuff.
So you might say that you're saying like you can start by giving people what they want,
Yes.
and then building yourself from there.
Yeah, you can. It's like with everything. Like just build. I think build a reputation for being good at what you do, so that people call you for what you do. But also that takes time. But that would be my advice.
Okay. Okay, that's. I'm starting out in the industry, so I'm still learning and working my way through. Yeah.
What kind of music?
R&B.
Mm.
Yeah.
R&B.
Yeah. I made a beat that I was used to produce a song, an R&B song that was just released this year. Yeah.
In 2022?
Yeah.
On whose project?
Her name is Kerubo. She's also just an upcoming artist. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think I could play it for you and then you tell me what you think.
Okay.
Okay.
I love that song. That song is incredible. I wanna know. I wanna know. I've always felt like this song that's playing it should have been one of the biggest songs that year. Jivo Struggle.
Oh my God, yes. Jivu
Like,
is so amazing.
but that song, like they're amazing, but that particular song,
Yeah.
if there was, I remember I said that on Twitter and people are like, yo, the time will come. I was like, I'm not talking about the time will come then.
The song is good
I'm
now.
saying
yeah.
the song is good now. And even if someone was to be a one-hit wonder, this country denies people the opportunity for you to be like a one-hit wonder solidly, because that song is an N.
Yeah.
Hiyo kitu yonikasirisha mpaka sahi.
Blinky Bill, I want to know something. You share a studio space with Dilly. Would you learn from him? I guess, what's that relationship like? I guess, over the years, how's that relationship been? And like, how is it being in that space? Because I'm sure Dilly's an amazing producer and people just learned that because of CTA.
Yeah.
But Dilly's since Homeboys, Dilly made a song, produced a song for me and Waire, like in 2010.
You used to.
Unfortunately. But it didn't work out. But Dilly's was from Homeboys Day, but people just learned about Dilly. Like this sampling, I don't think anybody samples better than Dilly in Kenya.
Dilly.
You can fight.
Dilly is amazing.
So
as
you being in the same space with him, you guys being friends, how's that relationship?
Yo, man.
Because you even talked about how like he helped, like in the beginning you hear a song, I like it, there's a competitiveness of I'm getting that song, like I want, because even.
But it's more like, it's competitiveness, but it's also, I have such deep respect for Dilly because he hears sound, he hears particularly African sounds. Like there's a song on We Cut Keys, the first We Cut Keys. Hey, Selele yo.
Yeah.
It's him who sampled that.
Oh.
And sometimes I listen to that song. I was like,
That song is
I
nice.
wish we knew what we know now.
Which is
Or,
what? What do you know now that you didn't
like
know then?
I know how to use my voice better. I know how to write better. I know how to, like, how I would want to sit with that mix with whoever is engineering it, so that it's even harder. But that's also it's a Kenyan song, and people don't know that it's a Kenyan song.
Yeah.
Like the sample itself
Oh, the sample is a Kenyan
is a
song.
Kenyan song.
Because I like that you sample a lot of Kenyan old music, like that you sample Les Wanyika. You don't. And that's why that's intentional, of course, right?
It's always intentional, because I think when you watch a Tarantino movie and you see some really clever lines, like that's a product of them being intentional. With something for you, for example, for me, that song was like it's a song that I had when I was a kid, and I wanted to sample it as a grown up. Same with Dunia Ina Mambo.
Yes.
Same with Matatizo, because
Yes.
Matatizo, the original, is very fast, but the words are very like tragic.
True.
So I've always wanted, but I stopped sampling because it's just a headache trying to clear
The legal
Yeah.
part of it is really
the
harder.
legal part of it. So Dilly, just being in him with studio makes me, it pushes me as much as I push him in terms of sonically, sound-wise we're very different producers, but in terms of the music that we like a lot of the same
Okay.
music. So sometimes I'll be making like really tribal electronic sounds, and then I'll come in and hear his on some hard hip hop with like some crazy sample from Siju Baraka Munshehe. Well, I'll just be like, damn, you got me this time. And then sometimes he'll come to my studio and be like, when you mad. So working with him and the tracks that he's produced on my album are some of the hardest tracks I've ever been on.
For real.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even no one will even believe it's him.
So you produce for other people and as a producer, I'm sure it takes a lot. You appreciate a good beat. You appreciate good music, because you know how like you have a good ear.
Yeah.
I want us to get into We Cut Keys too, because you've had a long day. I want us to talk about the album.
She wanted to play me.
Ooh, okay. So let's play the song and then get into the album as we wrap up.
Okay.
The song that you produced, right?
Yeah.
Can you intro it?
Okay, so it's called Ha
Mm.
by Kerubo.
Produced by?
DJ Kemi.
Hey, let's get it.
Needed to let you go from me. Needed someone to tell me, baby. Needed to find me eventually. Needed to know if you're the one for me. Was this a bigger picture? We talked about scripture. Can't help but feel I fixed it for you to go and pick up. Bottom line, you got me crying on my bedroom floor. This long, just one side of love. How much did I know? I didn't think I'd ever get to call you my ex. With you, I really thought that there would never be enough. Was this the bigger picture? We talked about like scripture. Can't help but feel I fixed you for you to go and
Sad nigga hours.
Yeah.
That slaps.
That's
DJ Kemi.
Good job.
Yes.
And that's the first song you ever produced, right?
Yeah.
Damn. That's heavy.
Yeah,
That's heavy.
that's cool.
So I want to ask you a random question, Blinky.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
So I feel like for a Kenyan artist, if they heard like you knew about them or even heard of their music, they'd be shocked.
Really?
Who I guess yeah.
What?
Who are you listening to that put us on? You know how Kemi puts me on? I'd like for you put me on to someone I don't know. Put me on some Kenyan music that you listen to that you'd love more people to hear.
Yeah, it's a hard one right now because I've been a bit tunnel visioned.
Okay.
But also a lot of the people that I listen to, I've heard you talk about. So
Okay.
the Jivus, there's so many people who send me their ninis, their projects.
And this is
they're
stuff that you fuck with.
There's a guy called Wams.
Okay. Keith Wams.
I
Okay.
think. He's a producer.
Yes, Keith Wams.
Yo, that guy sent me such a hard beat. I'm actually trying. That's one of the songs that I'm trying to write to.
Okay, so the two that you're saying you want to write to, that's one of them.
No, I have. Every week I find a song that I want to write to. So
Okay. So like
I-
to challenge yourself.
If I was like, if my album was 10 songs, I passed 10 songs a long time ago. But finding the right, maybe like 13 songs is that balance. So I know I have like 8 that I really want, but then the rest of these 2, 3 is what makes me like.
How many songs do you want on the album?
No, that's gonna depend on. Sorry, let me wear my name. Sorry,
Tafadhali.
I hear myself.
I was asking how many songs do you want on the album?
It's gonna be. If I have 13, that's
Mhm.
cool because there's like. I don't want to preempt anything, but it's. Yeah,
Okay.
but it's just my favorite project yet.
Is there any features on this project?
Of course.
Okay.
Here's the course of features.
So is Lisa gonna be on the project?
Of course, Lisa is gonna be on the
Okay.
project. Yeah, this song is gonna be on the project. But also we've worked on.
Her album's dropping next week
her
in 5
album's
days.
dropping out. Yeah, next week.
On the 9th.
Yeah,
That's dope.
and that. In fact, this came out at the right time because it's like also it's helping.
We've had her on the show and she's so amazing.
She's so cool.
We've been gassing out because we wanted to release more music because her stuff is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good collaborations that will surprise you.
Okay.
So I'll just leave it.
There's
at
something
that.
you said about the sound being a bit dark. Is that I don't know. That's not the word. I don't want to use the word. That's not the word you use. But like, what's the vibe? Like, is it a reflection of where you are right now? The music, like, is that where you're at? Where you at, album wise or even life wise?
Oh yeah.
Is it a reflection of your life? Is it a mirror or no?
No.
Okay.
No, it's more. Actually, I'll call it tribal future African funk because there's sounds that I've figured out. Because I feel like a lot of people wanna. If you look at what's it called? If you look at South Africans have a feel, have a sound that feels native to them. Nigerians have a sound that feels native to them. Jamaicans have a sound that feels native to them. With Kenyans, a lot of times, and this is more because we are in a stage in between figuring ourselves out and having grown up being very heavily influenced by the rest of the world. So maybe sometimes I think is like if I'm making a beat, like a hip hop beat, there's 2 schools of thought. Like a good hip hop beat is a good hip hop beat, and it'll stand anywhere. So if I make a beat that sounds like Just Blaze, then if it's good, Jay-Z will want to rock with it because it reminds him of something. But on the flip side, if he hears something that's so different from what he's ever had sonically, then he'll be like, where is that coming from? So for me, it's trying to merge these two worlds in my own way.
Okay.
So like I've really dug deep to figure out sounds that I want to play with that are very Kenyan, but no other Kenyan is making it because you're not even thinking like that. So all the experience of digging crates from Kina, all the Just a Band stuff, all those kinds of ideas, like something like Get Down, where if I listen to Get Down, like I can see where my heart was, but I didn't. Technically, I was not good to, like, I didn't have the skills necessary to pull that song off properly, but now I do.
You know my favorite Just a Band song? I just remembered. Migingo Express.
Migingo Express.
I've overplayed. My roommate in college probably never wants to. I used to play that song so much, and I didn't even, the words. I don't even know the word. I don't. But bro, that's one of my favorite songs, and I feel like I'm talking about that because I feel like it's something you do with your voice.
Yeah.
That is unique, and I think I can only think of Nyashinsky in the sense. I don't know if you've had the Like You album, but there's beats on there that are not beats, but Nyashinsky doing like his voice is the beat.
Yeah,
that shit blows my mind because I'm thinking, like, this man is rapping over his humming and his clicks and the fact that
and his voice is so
it
good.
Is so like, how do you make a beat with like like Nash did some shit on that Like You album.
Yeah. I like Nash.
We're talking about the sounds and the different things.
Yeah,
the different things.
So that's something that I've been trying for a long time, but now all those times of trying Migingo Express, like which is a good song and can stand on its own, but now with the experience of how to make it in such a way that it's not alien to someone from Shags, because someone from Shags would listen to it and maybe be like, I don't know, but now
Okay.
You
I get what you're saying because the majority is the guys in Shags. Us city guys are 5 million of us. 50 million of us are all spread around the country. So it's like because the issue actually, Soul Generation was looking for an artist, and like, we're looking for an artist who can sell like Nadia Mokami or something, because when people go into the business mode, they want someone who can. They make music that is relatable with the majority of people. But if the problem we get with the sounds you make or MDQ makes, some people would argue or say that sounds foreign or it doesn't sound Kenyan enough. And it's crazy because you guys will have like appeal across the world, but us guys are the ones who say, we're the ones who are quick to say
that's not.
We're the ones who say that's not Kenyan, or the ones who we put your music down and pick up what we're familiar with, because it's it's familiarity
and it's safety. But also that's, for me, is something that I'm so anti, because just open your mind, guys, because the music cannot go forward if we keep doing the same thing, and that's what a lot of people have been doing. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So when I remember that time for Lion King, someone was saying
there was no East African.
I'm like, bruh, we might like that song, but in terms of those guys, when they listen to it, in terms of the production quality, in terms of, and this is not to knock anyone, like, they made a good song.
It's a great song.
But when you're competing with people who've invested a shitload of money in their tracks, then it's a very different ballgame when we're in a boardroom and we're listening. It's like, there's no one's friend over there. It's like, does this person have the numbers?
It's business.
Or if they don't have the numbers, do they have the sound? As like, if you don't have the numbers and you don't have the sound that the room is looking for, it's going to be a tough sell. So you can complain all you want, but if you're not between those two ninis, it's going to be very hard to sell it.
because I've seen Burna Boy in DC and I've seen Davido in Vancouver, but like I wonder, like, and you know, let me tell you the funny thing: when you go to a Burna Boy concert in the States, it's not Nigerians, it's the white folks, it's not that, you know, it's not that he only, and that's why you have to sell. That's what I'm saying. Our music does not. We're not selling to just Nairobi or this small region, but we're looking at because I've seen you do shows out overseas. The people who are coming to your shows are not Kenyans coming to your Kenyan.
Yeah.
You know, but David Beckham has seen you did. You know,
but if a Kenyan is in town and they come see me, I like it's. But it's a. So that's the thing where someone like Mudhoni, a lot of, and I remember even this argument because white people, a lot of credit to them sometimes with music is that they're curious about a different sound while we're not.
Yeah. A lot of people listen to Radio 254 are not even Kenyans. They just want to hear what Kenyan music sounds like. They feel like they get to know what Kenya is like by just listening to this. Like, because it's like you get to hear what conversations are like, because then they understand, there's actually musicians and this is what they're doing and this is what the songs can tell you what society is going through. Like you guys can say what you want about Gengeton. People are still submitting Gengeton every day because that's them.
That's them, and that's what they know how to make. And actually,
so mainstream is not playing it, but people are still making it. You can't stop them.
You can't stop them. And also, if the thing for me, the only issue I had with Gengeton was not the sound, was more the writing. Where after a while, if everyone is saying the same thing, then it's very hard to differentiate.
Yeah.
But if someone comes, and this happened with Amapiano, where someone will be singing about some, like, the dissing chicks. Someone else will have a gospel take on it.
Yeah.
Someone else will have like a political take on it. So there's so much range in what they're talking about.
And we need that diversity because we don't want to only have Gengeton. We want to have the different sounds. We can't pigeonhole ourselves.
Yeah. So, and that's what happens with white people a lot, is like when they see you're making effort, like a lot of the festivals and those kinds of things, is that they'll be like, oh, okay, this person is from there, but their sound is like something interesting that could work with our audience. It's nothing personal. It's not about you being the biggest Kenyan artist. It's like if you're the biggest Kenyan artist, but the sound can't translate anywhere, then you're just going to play shows in Kenya. And if that's good, that's what you want to do, then that's cool. But if you want to...
When I imagine the Afro Nation kind of stage, you know, like your music has to be able to... Because they have the lineup looks like Megan Thee Stallion, but if you can't play in a set, if you can't play for those guys, then you're stuck here.
Exactly. So it's not about, you're the biggest artist in Kenya. It's about how are you innovating the sound.
But how come guys like Akina Casper, guys from SA are able to? How comes we struggle with that?
Simple.
The business part of it, the money you're talking about, or no?
That's one, but also South Africans support South Africans. So, like, Casper has a big
Nasty C,
Nasty C has a big, and he raps like an American.
Yes.
Like
he signed to
loves, he raps so good technically that... Is he on which label?
He signed to Universal. You signed to UMG, not UMGSA.
Yeah.
And he has records with T.I. He's got records with Ari Lennox, Black and White. Like, he's out here.
And then, like, I remember seeing Diamond with Busta Rhymes. I was like, for me...
Even Swizz.
Yeah, he was in the room.
Yeah.
For me, that doesn't make sense. But for them, he has the numbers.
That's what
justify him being...
He's big.
Because he's big. He has more numbers than all of them.
True.
So, of course, they'll call him the African Michael Jackson because they're just like, oh, man, this guy has a huge following. His music... Like, I'd struggle hearing Busta Rhymes on a Diamond song because, like, I'm not...
Even the Alicia Keys record was weird. I won't lie.
I don't see it. Yeah.
Okay. Are you singing? Are you rapping on the album? Are you
all of them?
Okay.
Yeah.
All of the above.
All of them. But I've rapped a lot more.
Okay.
Because it's something that I miss sometimes. Rapping.
So we're gonna hear you rapping
a lot.
Okay.
Nimerap.
Are you out rapping these niggas?
I'm out rapping all of these niggas.
When is the album dropping?
Yeah. Kuna msee mmoja tu ndiye alinisumbua kwa hii album. Niliacha verse yake kwa hiyo verse. It's also it's like I wrote my verse, this other rapper wrote his verse. And then sasa yeye alipata homework kama alikama katusikia si wote akasema okay, so that was like
I can't understand the assignment.
Well, but also that's technically your best verse you've ever written, so I'm not mad at it. It's on my album.
Last time you showed us Kiwango, Mvro, like you showed us some new cats. Are there going to be any new cats that you're putting on this new album too?
There's some new cats, but sasa it's something I really always want to. Like I like that record with Kina Kiwango.
It's heavy.
It's
even the video. I love that you did a video, and you did the video was like I've never seen like a video. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
It was so, but it was dope.
Yeah. So that one,
and the quality was so sick. Like the colors, the suits, the whole thing was so really well done.
Yeah. So it's something I'm always thinking about. If it makes sense for it to be on the album, then it will. If it doesn't, it doesn't mean that I don't want to put on new artists. It's just like it doesn't fit into the overall theme. But I've worked with some guys who watu watawangefikiria ningewaka now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blinky Bill, me personally, I want to thank you for your time.
Yeah.
But even more, you don't show us too much, but when you do tease us, you're like, I got this guy on the album, or you tease us the progress.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for sharing your music,
and
I want to thank you for what you've contributed to the Kenyan industry, whether it's through production, through just a band, through you individually. I thank you for your time, bro. We waited for this, but I've seen you on Hafari's podcast. That was super dope. We appreciate you. We appreciate what you're doing for us, all of us.
No, I like. Yeah, I always want to do stuff with people who love music. So, if people love music, I'm gonna be there. If it's hype things, then. Yeah. And also thanks for your patience, because a lot of people sometimes don't understand. It's more.
But you kept your word. You know, you said I'll come in the music, and I respect. It's been 6 months, but it was. I appreciate even you take, because we've talked about a lot of different things, and you've been very open.
Yeah.
And that's something I can't take for granted.
No, it's no problem.
DJ, can we say something? Say something. Amaje. Sini Friday.
It's Friday. And I wanna get some.
Sama. Say something. How is this?
This was fun. It was really great to hear wise words from.
I'm not that wise.
As an upcoming person in this industry, this has been a great opportunity for me. So yeah.
It's all good.
Big up Kemi. Thank you so much, Blinky. Can we wrap up with Amaje?
Breaks.
Tafadhali. Thank you guys for everybody for listening. We'll be back next week. Have a lovely weekend.
My love.
I know we kept you.
Zimeni bamba, zimeni ukweli wangu wa dhati ndio hii, wanishikisha, zimeni bamba, zimeni ukweli wangu wa mambo ndio hii, wanishikisha.
Nakutamani, nakuhitaji mama, siji kukosoa kwani uko poa mami. Run it up, back it up, wacha nikupende, oh yes. Nakuhitaji mama, siji kukosoa kwani uko poa mami. Run it up, back it up, wacha nikupende, oh yes.
That you want me for real. When you girl, I know body breathe. I step, pull up the receipt, girl, I pull up the receipt. Mambo ya mapenzi ni kubambana, you stay rocking it one by one. 5 step, pull up the receipt, pull up the receipt, gala pull up the receipt.
Nakutamani, nakuhitaji mama, siji